Okay.
You can say that.
Okay. Are you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling forever. What was that?
There were two Russ Barenberg tunes. Pleasant Beggar, named after their dog, who I guess was a sweet old dog that begged, but very non-aggressively. And Through the Gates. And Through the Gates is it's a lovely tune. It's all pentatonic, which makes it easy to play any chord backup that you choose, including the wrong chord back up. This is Alice Boyle, my wife. I'm Robert Rosenberg. We play Contra dance music. And, bring the... Can you zoom in on me here? I got something to say to flat pickers. No, you can't. Okay. Flat pickers out there, play Contra dance music. It's fun. You get to play, Brian, you get to play melody. You get to play bass runs. You get to play all the time. You get to control what the fiddlers do because,
You can't control fiddlers. I'm sorry.
You can, because you start getting loud. They start having to get loud. And you get soft. They have to get... Anyway...
Does it pay?
Does it pay? Oh no.
Tens of dollars.
It does not
Tens
pay.
of dollars.
It does not
Same
pay.
as bluegrass.
But it's just more fun and you get to play more notes. There are a lot of closet Contra dance players out there. I know you're out there. You just don't know you're out there. Okay, should we play another Contra dance tune?
What's Contra dance?
Oh, what is Contra dance?
It sounds to me like a revolution or something.
It is a revolution. It's no, it is. It's a
It's social dancing.
Social dancing. It's kind of like square dancing.
Cross between swing dancing and square dancing.
Well, why is it Contra?
Because you line up in long lines opposite each other. So
There you go.
Yes.
Opposite of each other is
Opposite.
Contra.
Yes.
Bingo.
Right. Whereas in square dancing, you line up in squares. It's badly named. It's a terrible name, but so is square
Is there
dancing.
a caller?
There's a caller. There's always a live band, unlike in square dancing, and also unlike square dancing, you don't have to come with a partner. You don't have to dress up in poofy skirts. You just come as you are. You dance with anybody in the room. You keep changing partners all night. And it's very social.
Yes, and the dances are usually around 112 beats a minute, somewhere around there. Some a little slower, but if the caller calls an Appalachian square, you might be 120 beats a minute, 122 beats a minute.
Any jigs or reels that are square, are
32 bars.
32 bars, work.
Yeah,
for
3-part
dances,
tunes don't work unless you can adjust them.
Why not?
Because the one time through the dance pattern corresponds to one time through the music. So every time that you do the dance pattern, and you and your couple progress to a new couple, and you do that pattern over again, and that corresponds to the same number of bars that the tune is. So when we're picking tunes for dances, we'll pick tunes that kind of reinforce the dance moves that they do in each of the parts.
So what is a tune that would not reinforce the dance music? What would be a tune that is definitely
A
not
crooked tune.
So what?
A crooked tune, one with a regular number of bars.
Yeah, okay,
You could
crooked
do that.
tunes.
Yeah.
Woo.
3-part tunes.
Who invented crooked tunes anyways?
I always thought it was Bill Monroe. But,
Or like a half length thing,
a single reel.
yeah.
Okay.
Cluckold Hen is a single reel.
Cluckold Hen. Okay.
Yeah. And a tune that wouldn't work, a crooked tune like Rebecca would not work.
Okay.
And different dances convey different moods. Some dances are marchy, and some dances are bouncy, and some are smooth and sexy, slinky, and so you play a variety of stuff. Should we demonstrate a more of a slinky kind of thing? Well, often we'll play a jig.
Jig.
For a slinky,
Jigs can be bouncy too.
Jigs can be bouncy.
Do one.
Do a bouncy jig or a slinky
Let's do a
jig?
slinky one.
Okay, let's do Cayenne. Maybe?
Okay. Just call you on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in drop D here.
Kick me off.
might go into another tune from there, or we usually do, and often in a different key, but the same mood. And we match the tune, or Alice does, matches the tune to the dance. So she'll look at the card and she'll see, oh, this one has got lots of haze, smooth walky moves, and let's pick this set.
So how many tunes do you know? Or recall? You match the tune to the dance.
Yeah,
so
our set list, we don't have it with us.
Pre-programmed for this tune, or will the caller call out the tune for you?
No, the caller gives us the dance, and it's our job to find tunes that match it. And we make sets in advance, because you usually play more than a couple tunes because the dance go on forever. So we'll do like a 2 or 3 tune set for each dance, and we've already put those together so that we've grouped tunes that like there's some contrast, but that also like will work for the same dance. Okay. And so then we'll look at the card, figure out what kind of dance it is, pick a tune set that will match that from the list.
You've got a little bit of pre-preparation.
We got 5 minutes while they teach the dance.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
And some callers will send us the program in advance. Tonight we're here in Angel Fire, New Mexico, because we're playing a dance in Santa Fe, and my guitar needed some setup. And where else you gonna go?
That's a pre-war Martin, right?
No, it is a '79 Martin for
it's been through other
those
wars.
who cares. Yeah, it's been through the war of me. I bought it new in 1980.
Let's zoom in on that guitar.
Yeah, you'll zoom in on the guitar, but not on me. I get you.
Yeah, there we go. We just want to see the guitar.
I figured.
There it is.
It was built in '79. It's an HD 28 Martin that I bought new in 1980 and didn't take very good care of it. It's had a hard life, and it's had lots of work, including now Brian put in adjustable truss rod like 25 years ago, and has moved the neck to where it plays in tune finally, and recently reset the neck, and then last night.
Evo frets. I did the long saddle in that, didn't I?
Yes.
It doesn't come with an original. I did the long saddle.
Right, and last night he fixed my botched repair job. Thank you. Yeah, charge extra for that.
All right, let's play another tune.
I'm in drop D, but I can.
What can you do with your feet there?
Oh,
let's look at the feet. Let me sit down here a little bit.
Let's do French Canadian set.
Yeah.
Grand chain.
Now, bluegrass people don't do this.
Oh, and it's easy. It's easy. It's and it's fun.
No, it's not.
People that.
It's not easy.
It's easy.
It's difficult.
I can't
do it. Years and years of dedicated
and
practice.
you can play the guitar and do that.
I learned it on a YouTube video.
He's just mildly ADHD, and this gives him something to do with his feet, and he does it all the time. I sometimes have to stop him. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Both tunes or just one?
You do both, yeah.
Okay.
fancy bar chords up there, boy.
Just one quick diminish.
That's that one of those diminished chords.
Yeah. So D. What diminished would that be? You got 1 in 4 chances of getting it right.
How do you come up with chords for those? Those your chords?
No, those are not my chords. Those were in the tablet.
Oh, but sometimes often the chords that people give you are wrong.
Often chords are wrong, and there have been wars started over chords. People just say, no, you should play an E minor 7th, or no, it should be a B minor, and
Like
That's a big difference.
fights break out. Yeah, but they both work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one that fiddler likes is obviously the one that's right.
So see, the fiddler is in charge.
Exactly.
Oh, ultimately the fiddler is in charge. But I don't know if you noticed, but that on that tune I decided I want to back on the, especially Kayana, I decided to do a little, cross picking. That was terrible. Anyway, and Alice had to follow suit, had to adjust what she was thinking of doing. I'll hear about it later.
No.
What about tunes? Alice has written some tunes. So who does the chords for those?
When I
Yeah,
write them, I have often I'll have a chord structure in mind. I don't know how to write it out or anything like that, but I'll play it and I'll say, okay, is it this? And Robert will come and it's like, oh no, that's the one. It's like I know what I want in my head, so he just finds it.
And he has to just
and then
keep playing chords until you come across
exactly.
that. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's one you've written that you would like to play?
The
do
Ravens,
let's do the-
or
yeah,
we
it's in
could
the-
do
it's in the chord set.
Jackalope, or
Let's do Ravens because
okay,
it's different.
they're all different.
Oh no, that's not right. Sorry, one more. Sorry, I thought we were going into a different tune. That's called stage telepathy failing.
That wasn't a very good one.
Yeah. Okay, let's play. What else? Alice has written a lot of tunes, but that one's one of my favorites. Jackalope. We need to practice that.
Okay.
I get the chords wrong on this half the time. It's a reel. few mistakes. Sorry. Let's end with Daybreak. And this is written by a great contradance guitar player. A lot better than me.
Owen Morrison.
Owen Morrison. He plays with he plays with Elixir and other bands.
Yeah, lots.
But he plugs in his guitar. Sorry, it's but that's his only fault. Aside from that, he's a great guy and he's a great guitar player. Okay.
You know this is public, right?
Yeah, I do. Sorry, Owen. Okay.
Wrong key, I'm sorry.
Okay. Wrong chord. Okay, sorry.
Cool.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
you usually
Any
end it-
last words.
And you usually end a dance with a waltz, and a waltz at the break. So have some waltzes ready. Any last words?
You guys are moving to Canada.
We're moving to Canada.
Well, you should tell them that you said, I'm Alice, you're Robert. We have a band name.
We have a band name, Call Creek. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's because we live in Kansas, where the Call River. There is no Call Creek, but there is a Call River, and it's Kansas River, which flows into the Missouri, which flows into the Mississippi. Okay.
Wait, bye-bye.
Bye.